Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. Radosław Fogiel, an advisor to the head of the ruling Law and Justice Party, has stated that the Supreme Court's disciplinary chamber will not be liquidated because the Court of Justice of the European Union, or ECJ, wishes it to be, but rather as part of a comprehensive reform which must also introduce disciplinary provisions. The president of the Law and Justice Party, Jarosław Kaczyński, had already announced the liquidation of the disciplinary chamber during the summer vacation. Yesterday, on Radio Kraków, the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Ryszard Terlecki, stated that the Parliament will start working this month on the draft law that will liquidate the Supreme Court's disciplinary chamber.
Ona zostanie przekształcona.
I'm sure its duties will be transferred somewhere else, probably to the criminal law chamber of the Supreme Court. We don't know yet who they will be ruling on disciplinary issues, but every country has such a body. The dispute over the disciplinary chamber is taking place on two levels, not only legal, but also political. The reform has not succeeded in achieving the goals which were set by the ruling party, namely things such as raising the quality of the process in which verdicts are reached. According to many commentators of the political scene, the Court of Justice of the European Union is acting ultra vires, meaning outside its mandate, in a quest to broaden its sphere of influence without taking the necessary but difficult path of treaty changes. Representatives of the French fishing industry are warning the country's fishermen from venturing into British waters, anticipating an escalation of a Franco-British row over fishing licences that could be very costly on all sides. France alleges that the United Kingdom is not honouring a post-Brexit deal on access to British fishing grounds and has said that from midnight on Monday it will retaliate by stepping up checks on trucks coming from Great Britain and barring British trawlers from docking in French ports. President Macron later stated he will postpone the measure for more negotiations. Olivier Lepret, president of the Regional Sea Fishing Committee for Northern France, said he had advised his group's members to stay clear of British waters in case they were caught in tit-for-tat British measures. It's very good to have retaliatory measures, as it's the only solution since the British government only understands force. On the other hand, you should know that there will be adverse outcomes and reprisals at sea. Obviously, Boris Johnson will not stop there. He will strike back with controls on the sea, etc. I think they will be much more difficult, and I think at the slightest problem boats will be impounded, so that is rather worrying. Tracking data for marine traffic in the English Channel on Monday afternoon showed that most of the French fishing fleet was staying close to their shorelines. British trawlers were also staying in their own sector. Lepret said France needed to take tough action on Britain, but his members also worried about collateral damage from a worsening row. I've sent word out to all fishermen to be careful that if they go into British waters they risk getting into trouble. It will still be within the law because they have the right to do so, but I think the slightest problem could cause a significant issue and fines and boats will be impounded, especially as there is a huge media impact on the British side as well, where British fishermen are waiting for something like this to happen to get into it. The British government on Monday issued its own threat to France, telling Paris it had 48 hours to rescind its threats. Yamal, a major pipeline that normally brings Russian gas from Poland into Germany, has been switched to flow east. Yesterday, an explosion at the Balkan Stream pipeline in Bulgaria stopped the transport of Russian gas through Turkstream to Serbia, Hungary and Romania. Flows into Germany at the Mallnow metering point, which lies on the Polish border, stopped early on Saturday and have not resumed according to data from Germany's Gascade operator. German gas market analyst Heiko Lohmann told Reuters Television that stoppage at Mallnow may have technical reasons. The problem is that Gazprom won't comment, said Lohmann. The issue has attracted attention because at the end of last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that gas supplies to Western Europe will be increased from the 8th of November. That led to the sell-off of gas and gas prices dropped considerably. Then, as of Saturday, surprise, surprise, no gas at all is flowing anymore. This could be for technical reasons. The problem is that Gazprom won't comment. Europe's gas prices have rocketed this year amid a surge in demand as economies recover from the pandemic and lower than normal storage levels heading into winter. The fundamental environment is similar to other markets. We are seeing asymmetrical recovery following the coronavirus crisis and different demand factors. For gas, an additional factor is the extreme weather this past summer. It was very hot in Asia, and Asia uses a lot of gas for air conditioning. In South America, it was extremely dry, and so hydropower had to be replaced by gas. So in addition to the coronavirus, there are other factors which made the situation worse. Also, it's a commercial market which isn't as broad as the oil market, which makes the swings stronger. Some European policymakers have said Russia's Gazprom could do more on top of meeting its contractual obligations to help calm the rally. However, Russia wants to press European Union regulators to allow the controversial Nord Stream 2 pipeline to become operational. Russia sends gas to Western Europe by several different routes, including through Belarus and Poland, using the Yamal Europe pipeline, which has an annual capacity of up to 33 billion cubic meters. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro visited the Tuscan city of Pistoia on Tuesday to attend a ceremony to honour Brazilians who died during World War II. The Italian left has tried hard to protest against the Brazilian president throughout his visit to Italy for the G20 summit. President Bolsonaro was greeted by Italian rightist leader Matteo Salvini, who was also attending the ceremony in Pistoia, and said he was disappointed by the demonstrations. Honouring those who died should fall outside the political debate, Salvini said in a written statement. A large group of supporters welcomed Bolsonaro at the monument, while another group gathered in the centre of Pistoia to rally against him. Groups linked to leftist parties have announced they will hold a separate commemoration ceremony later in the day to avoid having to share the moment with Salvini and Bolsonaro. His visit to Pistoia comes a day after clashes between police and protesters took place in the northern city of Padua, just before Bolsonaro visited the city's famous basilica. Water cannons were used to break up the violent protesters. On Monday, Bolsonaro was awarded the honorary citizenship of nearby Aguia Veneta, town of the birth of some of his ancestors. The Brazilian leader, who arrived in Italy for the G20 meeting held in Rome over the past weekend, has been criticised by progressives for an alleged increase in deforestation under his government and for accusations about lax measures to counter the COVID-19 pandemic. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.